Hello, Renee Flamond here. You guys, this video is meant to help you not pull your hair out of your head. If you're about to be trying to explain your side to your narcissist, that's Minnie snoring. I don't know if you can hear her. I'd like you to just think about a few tidbits. That's what this video is for. Because I want to prevent you, like I said, from pulling your hair right out of your head. Out of your head. I mean it. You've got to hear me. The narcissist just is not equipped to even comprehend what is happening before them. So here I go with my explanation. When you have a disagreement with someone, anyone, think of it right now, not with your narcissist, someone else. There's hopefully some banter. Yes? Okay. Presentations of either side by each person, debate, persuasive discussions, because the nature of a disagreement is that you're trying to maybe get the person to agree with you or see your side, or I can't even stand how cute she is, etc. And eventually you arrive at a place of compromise with which both parties can live, right? I mean, that's the nature, the path of a healthy disagreement, I'd say. Well, to be able to go through that healthy sounding cycle, one needs to possess a few things. To begin with, reciprocal, productive banter. One must possess the ability to express themselves in a well thought out way, which means you've got to know yourself. You're not wavering. That's why there's a disagreement. You have conviction in a certain area and somebody else has conviction in that area on a different point of view to do with that topic, right? You have conviction. You know who you are and you aren't pretending to be someone else. Otherwise, who does this sound like? If you don't have conviction and you don't know who you are, you may what? Fold, agree, just to, I don't know, mirror the person, make them think you're like them, to, I don't know, not make waves and sell yourself as soulmates, avoid the argument, lie and agree, make something up. The narcissist doesn't have any idea who they are. I mean, I'm sure we all understand that by now. They have no idea who they are. They bounce around different people, shifting their way from one fake connection to another, wherein they mirror each party. Think it through. They mirror each party, hardly cause arguments unless they want to, and they just want to make everyone like them. That is exactly what the narcissist is doing when they meet anybody. That's what they did when they met you. They love bombed you. They mirrored you. They didn't cause too many arguments. That's not happening in the love bombing phase. Not at all. And when something does happen and there's a blow up and boom, you're like, I'm going to make my narcissist understand. I'm going to talk to them and explain to them what they did. And I'm going to let them know that they hurt my feelings. And they've got to understand if I put it this way. I can't tell you how empty of a task that is, as I did it for months and months and months and months. And as you know, I can talk someone's ear off. I did this to my narcissist. I said many things that made a lot of sense. And with us, you know, they do argue a ton. They really do argue a ton when it comes to the devalue. They argue a ton and they will fight us to the death because they're going to try to stand up for the fact that they're right. So I want to make sure I say that because I don't want you to think, well, what do you mean? What do you mean they don't argue? When I say that, I meant in the beginning, there's none of that. But when you're trying to make a narcissist understand, they're going to come back and argue with you because they know they have us already while they have us. Do you know what I mean? They know they can argue with you and you'll probably put up with it. You have shown already that you'll put up with it. So they're going to argue tooth and nail. They're going to be like, well, you did this and you said that and blah, 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 blah. But I digress. Because that's not really what this is about. The banter that starts the disagreement has to be based on something you value. If it's worth enough to argue, I think. Yes? Okay. Well, the stuff the narcissist values is an inconsistent mess. An inconsistent mess. Okay, fine. To go through the rest of the process that we listed, one requires the ability to listen and hear the other person. Put yourself in their shoes. Have empathy to do so. Feel genuine sorrow or responsibility or guilt or remorse. Do any of these words sound familiar? We discuss them a lot. And how what? What do we discuss? The narcissist doesn't have any of these. So I ask you, how on God's green earth did we ever think that arguing with them made one iota of sense? I ask myself that all the time. They don't have the ability to understand. They only have certain depth. I spent endless hours carefully articulating what I was feeling. Do we really think he even heard me? Or cared? Or meant it when he pretended to have done both? Right? Because they'll pretend they care. They pretend they hear you. Or that they're listening. They're not. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it again. Otherwise, they wouldn't lie about it. Why do we think they act like nothing happened afterwards? Because that's a trick they have, right? They have an ability to just act like nothing happened. It's because to them, nothing did happen. They may have acted like they were all into the upsetness with you. They may have sat with you for the 4 hours for you to get things off your chest and come up with some things back to you that make you think they heard you. But honestly, they just couldn't wait for it to be done. For you to stop talking. Because none of what you said even mattered. And I mean me when I say you. I'm sure, it's astonishingly clear to me now. But I marvel at the Olympic attempts that I made to communicate. Like, I made an Olympic sport out of it. I was a champion at it, attempting to communicate. Their ability to understand is severely limited. Their ability to care is limited. Their ability to take blame or responsibility is zero. Their ability to feel sorry is nil. They've got no conscience, and we're really just bothering them with this nonsense. So please don't think that it's you, that you're not saying it exactly maybe the way he'd understand, blah, blah, blah. And before you spend endless hours talking, texting, typing, just remember who it is that you're trying to reach. You're exerting all this effort, and it's an empty one. And you could just save yourself a ton of time the sooner you realize that when you're trying to make someone understand something, it needs to be a person who has the ability to be there and be present and hear you. And there needs to be a back and forth. There needs to be a two-way. The narcissist is all about them. They don't have the empathy to feel what you're feeling. I would put it just exactly like this. I'd say, but do you understand how that could hurt a human being's feeling? and I would outline what he did. And I'd say, if you had a daughter, would that be something that you would want her to go through? Like, how could you behave that way? And how could you treat people that way? And doesn't any part of you feel bad? Or, I don't know, can you sleep? Nothing. And he might have feigned words when he was trying to still be with me despite his behavior. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he didn't come up with some comebacks that say, you know, I told you how he would excuse it. He would always say, well, I've just behaved this way my whole life, but I love you and I don't want to behave like that anymore. Da, da, da. But there was never any understanding or, ooh, you put it that way. I've never heard you before. What an epiphany. No, they're never going to understand. They can't be in your shoes. That's one of the first and foremost qualities of a narcissist. They lack empathy. People get sick of hearing the word empathy. You really need, that has a lot to do with this. They're never going to understand. They don't have the ability to. How can you? When you have a situation where you understand, even like, okay, so you're watching the news right now, all of the stuff that's going on with the Ukraine. You feel terrible for these people. There was a teacher on the news, all bloody head. She gashed her head. 53-year-old teacher. I put myself right in her shoes. She's my age. She's a profession that I find honorable. And I just cried. Why? Because I can feel, I know, I'm understanding. A narcissist has no ability to do that. To put themselves in your shoes. You're the injured party. You're hurt. They can't picture why you are. They're going to concentrate on something that they invent that you did wrong to them that made them behave that way. That's going to be where their mind goes. Well, you ignored me that whole week. Or you stepped on my toe on Wednesday at 2:17. Or you moved your arm to the left in the wrong way on Monday. They're going to concentrate on the angle of it that has nothing to do with you. And has nothing real that would fracture anybody. But they're going to take that home. And they're going to keep on that. When really incident zero, and we've talked about that before, incident zero is what they did to you. They're going to ignore incident zero. They don't want to talk about it. Because they can't picture what that would have done to you. They don't care. So let alone not understand, they don't care. Why would they do it? And do it again, and again, and again, and again. They're never going to understand. Do you follow what I'm saying? They're never going to understand. So when we try to explain to a narcissist, I'm telling you what, I pulled, and this is a big, my mother's Italian, big Italian head of hair, and I was pulling it out of my head. Because I would say something that made so much sense to me, and I'd be like, oh, okay, he's going to understand that. He can't come back with nothing now. Or even the narcissists that used to be in my life, they'll concentrate on incident number 17, not incident 0, that they started it, or not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll concentrate on what you did to them. How many times does that happen? All the time with a narcissist. They're never going to concentrate on incident 0. Oh, did I do that to you? I'm sorry. I didn't even realize that would make you feel that way. Are you out of your mind? And if they do muster up those words, they're fake. They don't mean them because they can't feel anything to do with empathy, which means they would be in your shoes understanding how you feel. They can't. Even if they feign it, even if they say it, even if that's fake. That's trying to be persuasive on their part. So in trying to make a narcissist understand what you're feeling from what they did to you, in trying to make a narcissist comprehend what lies before them, they can't. They're just thinking, what can I do next? And maybe how can I get out of here? And how can I get over to the person that I have plans with at 6 o'clock when she's keeping me here arguing about, oh my God, it's 5 o'clock, I gotta get going. And they'll do that. While they're arguing with you, they're checking their watch to make sure that they can get to the plans that they have, which are the exact plans that you're arguing about them doing the night before. They're going to do it again. They don't hear. They don't listen. They don't care. They can't feel. So I just wanted to mention that because I think a lot of us spend an exorbitant amount of time trying to reach them in the hopes that we may, right? I thought I would. How can he not understand me? I'm well spoken. I put it into words a child would understand. This is elementary argumentative tactics I'm using here. How can he not understand? They don't want to, and they can't because they don't have empathy. It connects to everything. It really limits the narcissist in life to have zero empathy, zero conscience, zero sorrow. It's not just they can betray you and move forward. It affects every aspect of their life. That's why they go through life not feeling like they're attached to anything, because they don't feel attached to anything. They don't even realize why themselves. But they feel out of place. They feel off kilter because they can't connect. So when the next time you go to try to explain to your narcissist, I want you to think about this, and I want you to realize they just might not have the ability. I just wanted to mention it. Please go ahead and hit sub, like, and share. And I will see you next time. Can you hear her snoring? I don't know if you can hear her, but she's snoring. I can't take it when she does that. Anyway, I will see you next time.